Welcome back, Benchwarmers. It's game week 9 predictions. Welcome back to FOOTY. International break is finally
over. International break is over, baby.
We have nothing but derby action happening this weekend with Northern. What?
That's a win.
When?
When?
When about what?
International break. It's over. I'm sad.
Who the fuck was that?
Yo.
I can understand it if it's like you're sleeping. I was like, okay, cool. I'll sleep a little bit more, but
You know what it is? I think it's because he realized what's happening this weekend.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Oh
So we
shit!
got Northern Derby happening, Manchester Derby happening. Also bringing Fantasy 15 because we do have to fight. We have to get our advice here to succeed in this. Did this touch it off on me? Or am I going crazy?
No.
okay, I brought it down a little.
Oh, okay.
It was, you could tell it was pretty loud.
Yeah, it was. And much more. But as always, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Eric.
Nico Nick.
John, a.k.a. Gap.
Diego Statro.
Josue Hernandez.
And as you just heard, Marco behind the scenes.
Marco, like you said.
Marco, like you said.
Housekeeping. Make sure you guys give us a follow, a like, a comment, a review, all that good stuff is down below in the socials. It goes a very long way. We really appreciate that. And make sure you let us know when you want to come on the podcast because we want to have more banter. We want to have Chelsea fans on here. We want to have, I want to have like but I'm trying to go on.
Yeah, he literally said today, he's like,
Yeah,
yo,
yeah.
what's up? And then
Yeah, he
just
tried
never
to
said
play me.
anything.
He tried to play me. You know why? I'm gonna put you on the spot, JG. I hope you hear this because you tried to play me the first time, taking my words out of context. Today, though, he's like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "You're recording today?" I was like, "Yeah, bro, you should come on." And then you know what he said? He's like, "What time?" And I was like, "Why don't you give me a time that works for you?" Nah. We good.
You know what? We have to lure him in with the cheesesteak.
Oh.
CC's.
Big C's.
Big C.
Oh
Did
yeah.
you have it today? You said you were? So lie to me. Whatever.
I said either today or tomorrow.
I said, Eric, tomorrow I'm going to have it.
I
was
said
okay.
I said either tomorrow or Thursday.
You said today or tomorrow? Thursday. You just changed the story real quick?
Tomorrow is Thursday.
No, I spoke to him about this yesterday.
He
So I
said,
said either tomorrow or Thursday.
Okay, so you have one more day to get it.
Alright, we'll
I
see.
do, but I can't.
But,
He can't.
Oh,
He
my
tried
God.
to-
So you're not
he
helping
tried to
yourself
slide-
out.
He tried to slide that in and then he
I
was
said, you're not
away.
helping yourself out. And either way, I told JG to come on, and then he tried to like. I knew he was waiting for me to say it time, so he'd be like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, bro. I'm doing homework now. I'm watching dishes at that time. Sorry, but you know what? The day that JG comes on, yeah, that's your boy, Nick. What's up with that?
Bro, I'm surprised. City doing really well right now, so.
I think he's nervous as well because he sees what's above him right now as well. So I'm good on that either.
Wow.
Smug. But yes, also FIFA 23 did just drop.
Yes.
So Road to Division 1 will be streaming near you very soon. Once we get that underway. But if you guys are ready, have anything else you want to go over before I get into the WD-40 question? Are you good? WD-40 question? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
All right, so my question is, given that we just came out of international break, given the games that are happening this weekend, would you rather play the derby before or after international break?
Oh shit.
Before. Why?
Because, it's a little better this time around just because of the timing of the players coming back, but it's just the rhythm is halted, I feel. So now they've been so used to these past week or two playing with their international teammates. Coming back on the club level now, they got to get used to again playing a different type of football, most likely. So
Playing devil's advocate, what if you're in a bad run form?
That's why honestly I would play it after, man, because like looking at the likes of like Argentina, Brazil's result, and stuff like that. If you come with that hype of playing with your boys, playing with your countrymen, you have a good result. Despite the fact that the World Cup is coming up soon, I would rather get into a big game because you're already like. Maybe you don't have that form, but at least you're coming back with that belief like, damn, I'm pretty fucking good. Like, with my teammates, I'm pretty good. And I'm going to bring that back to my club. Let's go. Let's get it. We're going to play against our rivals. I think, like, the confidence is going to be high, and I feel like that'd be the trade-off. Confidence and form.
Yeah, looking at it in a perfect universe, looking at it from a neutral point of view.
Oh, my God.
Right, let's say you play the derby after the international break, assuming there's no injuries, which never happens, but from a neutral point of view and from a viewer's point of view, it would basically be who prepared the best. Well, not prepared the best because obviously the players are in international duty, but it's almost like each team are like just on a fresh stale or a fresh canvas type of thing. and then they're basically just starting from zero. Like no team has rhythm. Just whoever plays better. I don't know. I'm just looking at it from.
That's a good point.
I guess a follow-up question on that to piggyback up with Nixon. I'll go to you first. Would you say that? Damn, I just lost the question I just had. The train stopped and then just kept going. Hold on.
Get back on.
Answer the original question, and I'm gonna call the train back.
Train
Hey,
stopped.
hey!
Take a rebel. Spike up your memories.
Just answer the original question and then come back to me. Hold on.
So would you play the Derby before or after, Josie? What do you think?
Oh, came back.
Okay,
Train
now
back.
don't answer that.
But to answer the first question, me personally, I don't care. Before
That's
or
fair.
after.
No, that's fair.
It's
That's
plain
fair.
and simple, honestly, because.
All right.
So a follow-up question. So this maybe you will. David left again.
Chill, no.
Okay, no. So all right. Would you rather? So kind of like Diego said, you know, if your players leave for international break to compare with their countrymen, I actually agree with you that there could be a good uplift in morale and just energy after those international breaks. So would you say it's better? Who has an advantage? The team that sent more players out on international break, or the team that just
that didn't have that many.
didn't have that many players?
That's a good
going out?
question.
I'll say the team that went out, that had players go out on international break.
Okay.
Just because of the whole morale thing, they want to come back and keep going it with their club team, especially with big games that will probably be this weekend. It doesn't matter where around the world. But yeah, that's my answer. That's it.
I feel like whoever holds the ball should be speaking.
Okay.
I'm just looking at that.
Which
I
ball?
don't
Which
want to pass
ball?
this around. No one pass this around.
I'm only two right
You're
now.
There's another ball if you guys want.
Okay, never
plenty
mind.
of
That's his fidget toy.
It is, especially since
Oh man. And you know what? We'll keep it international just real quick, and we have some certain fan questions, and also have some international questions and recap as well from what did occur this past week, obviously. First question that we got was, who's getting the first sack, Belhart or Southgate?
Belhart.
Oh wait, what did I say? Belhart?
What Belhart, bro?
Yeah.
Belhart.
Who's Belhart? I feel that's like a
You're
wrestler.
probably thinking of the Leeds player.
You probably think
Why, yeah!
His play is Joe Gelhardt.
Oh yeah, Belhart. Okay.
Alright, so Berhalter
Berhalter,
or
yeah.
Southgate. Okay.
Who's getting the first sack?
This is an interesting one. I did read something today, jumping the gun, that Southgate had plans. It was leaked that he has plans to drop England, despite how good or how bad they do after Qatar.
So he's leaving.
Apparently, that's rumor has it. Yeah, thank you. Apparently, that's what he has told his close circle, and then obviously that close circle has some chismosos in there, and and they're spreading out, the. So yeah, that's what he thinks. But if he doesn't do that, I think it would be probably Southgate would be get sacked if they make it and they don't quit on their own volition. I think sacked it would be Southgate. I feel like it would be Southgate because the same thing's happening again. And I'll end my point there that the same people that are saying, how can you not get anything out of this talent pool? Like we've heard that so many times with an English squad in the 90s, early 2000s, and now it's repeating again. I feel like
Well, he got to the finals.
with the whole different setup though. He's not trying to do a new setup that he's never used before. It's fucking ridiculous because look at their outcome. They came last in the UEFA Nations Group. They got demoted down to the B rank. I mean, none of that is working of what they did for the World Cup 4 years ago and the Euros last year. So I don't know what the fuck he's thinking about.
I think their expectations are much higher though. So I feel like out of two, my vote is Southgate.
I think in another timeline it should be Berhalter, but because of just the way, especially English media and just like he's saying everything that everyone's been saying about Southgate and what's happened in the past, yes, their expectations are much higher for Southgate than they are for Berhalter. So I think Southgate will get second.
With Southgate, there's a lot of Southgate sexuals I know. Yeah, where they follow
Hey
Southgate.
yo!
But there's
I
follow
know.
me like Sarri sexuals,
Yeah, I know what you
Lampard
mean.
sexuals, where they follow religiously.
This is the term I'm hearing right now.
Yeah, I've never heard this.
Never
never
It's like when people blindly follow a manager.
Twitter
Yeah,
page are you following?
I've heard on Twitter there's older sexuals.
It came about with
Why
Bonito
did it
Sani.
turn sexual?
Because they're obsessed over them. So
Yeah,
it's-
anything
it's-
they do turns them on.
Okay.
Basically.
Real quick,
I'm
it's-
not at the sexual.
Okay.
It's not a self-label thing.
It's- It started when Maurizio Sarri at Chelsea, when they were like, because Chelsea fans are like very divided in the fan base on Twitter. So they were like, there'd be like Sarri fans and then Lampard fans, and then Lampard fans would call Sarri fans Sarri sexuals. But either way, there's a lot of Southgate sexuals.
Sorry, sexuals.
There's a lot of Southgate sexuals because like he went to the Euros final, World Cup semifinals. Now, is that the case for Berhalter? Is there a lot of Berhalter sexuals?
No, bro.
I don't think there is.
Are there like a minority part of the fan base where they think like, oh, Berhalter's is good?
No, I don't think
No,
there is.
there's
Maybe
that's a good point
Maybe
to make.
Berhalter's immediate family probably.
But the-
So is he like a good manager? I know.
I don't
a
think
lot
so,
of
bro.
Well, I have seen a couple, and I personally want to dive more into it, but apparently the whole U.S. structure and like everything about U.S. football is just corrupt. It's just politics, and it doesn't matter who you are, if you deserve to be up there or not.
If you know the right people.
If you know the right people, you gotta do is grease the right palms, and you're up there. That's from a couple of other clips that I've seen here and there going around that focus more on U.S. soccer, which I'm guilty of not looking more into. But if that's true, I mean, wouldn't surprise me if this guy sticks around for a little bit longer. If he, again, to Dale's point, I don't see anything positive about him coming out there. Nothing. He seems very just like.
Does he like play good football or?
No, dude, the game. All right, so
I-
next question
I've been
is.
saying,
I know fuck all US
I've been
soccer.
saying for years that we need to replace the men's U.S. soccer with the women's U.S. soccer, and then the U.S. team would actually go
Are-
further in any competition.
Are we gonna stay on Berhalter Southgate?
Well, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, who's worse, England or USA? Or
They're
USA?
both gonna get sacked at the same time.
Bro, I mean, well, exactly what Jose
Imagine.
said. England get relegated to League B. Israel get promoted to League A. And you're saying that right now, off of the current form, Israel is playing better than England is, just on the Nations League. All right. For Berhalter, he has some good wins over their rival Mexico in the last 2 or 3 years. I think that now, looking at how they're playing, that could be something that was just down to the players wanting him more than their rival team. Because
That's
he's
fair.
not. You go in. What was the stat? 2 shots on target in
In the
100
past 180 minutes.
in
of football.
180 minutes of football. That's ridiculous. And that's the last. These are the last. Like that's it. There's no more matches before the World Cup. Now you're gonna have to go onto the big stage and what? Make an ass out of yourself.
Mhm.
So, I have a tinfoil hat time for you guys. Okay.
Just gonna get ready. Just getting
I
ready.
got a tinfoil hat time. Okay. I need you guys to strap in. I don't know if there's an. Oh, here you go. Guys.
Strap in, strap on.
Okay. Guys.
Hey,
Put. Yeah.
I'm a pirate
There
today,
you
I know.
go. All right. Good. You
Nah,
got
I'm an Nico, yo, my man, bro. You look like Balotelli from the fucking penny, man.
Yeah,
I think I
bro.
said it before, actually.
one? Yeah, you did. Are you good? Good. Okay, ready? Tinfoil hat time. U.S. men's national team. Next permanent replacement. Pio Herrera. Okay, now hear me out. Okay, hear me out.
Who?
Hear me out. Don't make that face.
Who?
It's tinfoil hat time. Okay, conspiracy.
Who?
All right. El Piojo Herrera. Mexico's last supposedly successful manager. Okay, now what I think is, not only does this guy have charisma, not only does this guy have a game plan, but with the current influx of, I would say,
Ozzy doesn't believe it.
you don't believe it?
Apparently not.
Okay, listen. All right, well, whatever. With the current influx of different types of footballers, specifically Latino descent footballers, I think that someone like Pio Herrera could probably get the better out of those players. Someone like Berhalter may not appreciate their qualities because they're not big and they're not strong and they're not fast. And that seems to be the only thing that he's referring. He's playing DeAndre. How were we watching DeAndre Yedlin, sorry.
Bro,
DeAndre
So
Yedlin.
shit.
On the right hand side.
Once it went to him, you knew the ball was in.
Absolute trash. And that's the thing. He probably only plays him maybe because he doesn't have anyone else. But the fact that he's playing him now, leading up to the World Cup, when you need to have that spot solidified, that's why I'm saying tinfoil hat time. I see some nodding heads.
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm in favor of this.
It is an arch rival, but what about Pio Herrera to manage the next U.S. men's
I'm in.
national team?
I'm in.
The point you made
I'm
about like
okay
him
with
connecting
heterosexual.
with the the point you made about him like with the USMNT having like players of Latino descent, that's a very good point. Like,
Yeah.
you can actually like connect with them because like you know that meme with Kevin Hart where he's trying to speak Spanish on the bridge or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
That's Berhalter right now with the Latino players. So
Yeah, I feel like, and there's quite a few of them, not just like the likes of like Ricardo Pepi or whatever, but even the ones that are in like in midfield. And I feel that if you have someone that looks for a different profile of player, you're able to get rid of your Michael Bradleys a lot quicker.
Does
And
Bradley
so-
still play?
No, hell no. Thank God. No, not at all. But then
I'm
there are
sorry.
players. But there are players now that are similar to that. Like, for example, like for me, honestly, I don't buy into. Wow, what was his name?
Oh, the midfielder.
Kellen Acosta. I don't buy into
yes.
Kellen Acosta, bro. I don't. And then right now, even just on form, Weston McKennie hasn't been playing great either. Why not give one of the other guys a run? So that's what I'm saying. Tinfoil hat time. Pio Herrera, U.S. men's national team.
I'm in.
Another conspiracy. You're in?
I'm in.
You're
I'm
in.
in.
I'm
You're
in.
in?
I'm in.
All right. You're in.
Wait.
I mean, my tinfoil hat fell outside.
Does he like speak English?
Huh?
That doesn't even fucking matter. Football
doesn't
is football,
matter.
bro.
Football is
Marcelo
football.
Bielsa fucking promoted
And I know, like, okay, for the apologists, I know that people would be like, okay, well, if football's football, why can't Berhalter do it?
He sucks.
The thing,
Because
case in point, he sucks. Okay, that's all. I mean, keep it simple, he sucks.
That's
So
correct.
that, hey, if he wants to do it, he wants to do it. That's my tip for hot time. For
All right,
for
I'm
today.
for it. I'm for it.
I'm in.
I'm in. All right. Tinfoil hat time. I love it.
Arsene Wenger.
I was gonna say it. No, I was saying I was a banger, baby, gonna be, but sure, it's coming back to Arsenal for some reason. Who knows? But yes. Anything else on the U.S. England situation? We'll see what happens. Keep it a week before the World Cup.
Was Iran top 2?
All right. Ronaldo, my man got fucked up. But look, there's also another thing going around that I'm kind of surprised that I saw, and I'm gonna call him out. I don't think he watches or listens to this, but my brother-in-law always getting into it. We're not always getting into it, but he's always like, he's Portuguese, bro. He 100% Portuguese. He's
Okay,
in the top
okay.
4 final. Look, I respect that. Looking back at the results, looking back at the team's form, I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's not a far shot for final 4 for Portugal. Could see that happening actually. But he says that to me, which completely caught me off guard because he has backed Ronaldo endlessly to a fault. He messaged me. He's like, after Ronaldo apparently threw his armband recently in this PSG game, he was like, I think he's now toxic for the team.
Interesting.
When did he throw his armband?
Just this past weekend, I
The
believe.
last game
Against Spain?
Yeah, they lost it against
He
Spain.
threw his armband, he's
85th
like-
was it 85th or 86th minute?
So I don't want to misquote him. So let me just be very specific as to what he said because I don't want to make it sound like he's against him. But honestly, I'm getting real tired of him throwing that fucking armband around like it's nothing. I think it's like pretty much that attitude is toxic.
Okay.
How do you guys feel like that? And Manchester, do you feel like that's also translated into the locker room in the whole drama that was happening before?
I personally see it as win at all costs, and I can see I have to make a decision.
Because when that costs 100%, people can respect that and really value that. But then you have people like, if you've seen the Michael Jordan documentary, they hated him. Yeah. He was just like a dick, but he got the best out of some people. Others not so much.
I think it has translated because of the way his mentality is. He's very much, I'm not happy unless I win kind of person. So I definitely see it translating just because if he's not good on one end and then he comes over in the past to United and we weren't doing so well either. So it definitely translated.
I don't think it's the actual point of him being toxic towards the dressing room. I truly believe that he does have a negative impact on the pitch when actually playing because like the likes of Bruno Fernandes and the other players around him for Portugal have to cater towards him. So I don't think it's him like being toxic in the dressing room, but I do think, like I just said, he has a negative impact on the pitch. Yeah, it's just like
his mentality is a little too strong, so then everyone around him has to be like, "Oh shit, we got to make sure we do this, otherwise he's gonna like pop a fuse or something."
Is it too strong, or is it just, I guess, a neglect of adapting to his current situation or current environment now? He's not the same player he was. Not the same player he used to be.
I do think so, but I'm just for argument's sake, I would go the opposite way. And what if the other players don't raise? What if he has the bar up here? He's like, "Come on, guys, we can do this. I can do this. Meet me here." What if the other players just don't meet that standard?
I don't really
but
see
he
him.
hasn't been reaching that. He has like 1 goal in 10 games.
Oh, right now, obviously not. No, hell no. Right now, no. But I'm talking about Ronaldo as a whole, as a football player, and his demands on, okay, listen, this is what I've achieved. This is what I know I'm capable of. Meet me here. This is the standard.
I see. I could definitely see where you're going with that. I kind of agree with Nick though. I think just his overall footballing. I want to say talent because he's talented as endlessly, but his overall just gameplay doesn't suit modern football, modern teams, or
You could
just
say that. You could say that.
I think he's reached a point where like, all right, you have to be a role player. You're not the main guy anymore,
No.
and I don't think he's ready for that.
Yeah, and Fernando Sanchez as well. he will never bench Ronaldo ever. And if he does bench Ronaldo, like with the toxic thing, I think that's when he'll be toxic. I think Ronaldo probably throw a fit if he gets ever benched for the World Cup, his last World Cup. So
Yeah.
I don't think he'll get benched, but I think he should.
Isn't that kind of like messed up? This is his last World Cup, so he kind of has to play.
Yeah.
Because not really.
Would you play him? If you're the coach of Portugal, you know it's the last World Cup, and you know the noise and the fandom that Ronaldo brings. Yeah, do you play him or do you do his best for your? I mean, obviously do his best for your team, but I mean, what would you do against the situation?
Is playing him the best for your team?
I think so. I think playing him is best for a team. Only because like, I just see Ronaldo doing better when it comes to tournaments. When it comes into tournaments, I mean, you could see in the Champions League, he does really well. In the Euro that Portugal won, he scored most
every goal leading up to the fucking pretty much for real.
So he does. I will start him for the World Cup, but after that, that's it. I wouldn't call him up anymore.
I think he said he wanted one more World Cup and one more Euros, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah, he said he wants to play in the next Euros.
Sheesh.
2024.
He'll be 39 or 40 right there.
That's LeBron, bro.
Yeah,
But I mean, I want to go back to him throwing the captain armband. To be quite honest, I feel like that's just a reaction of a frustrated player on the field. And the only reason why I say that is because from coaching, I've had, my captain grab the nearest thing that he has and throw it onto the ground. Yes, it's not a great look, but I also feel like it's a reaction because you will see some players who are not captains grab their shin guards or a water bottle and just smash it to the ground. I feel like it's the nearest object that they have. That's
fair.
That's just my
and you
opinion.
see that.
Yeah.
You see that in the documentaries that come out of players smashing their shin guards. 100%. I do agree with you.
That's just my opinion, but yes, throwing the captain armband down, especially of the like of Cristiano Ronaldo, does make him look a little bit bad for the world. So
I personally don't like. It's kind of like Shaka did throwing his Arsenal jersey. I like this thing throwing the captain's armband. It's kind of like I think it's a little disrespectful, and I think there's a reason why he was never the true captain of Real Madrid or Manchester United. He was never the guy to put the captain's armband for them. Maybe occasionally for Real Madrid, once in the blue moon, but
he was the third captain of Madrid,
barely.
behind Sergio Ramos and Marcelo.
Yeah, but you can't argue against those two guys.
Yeah.
No, but
everything.
Well, because Real Madrid does it differently. That's why.
They select the four
But
captains.
do you look at Ronaldo? Do you think he's the captain? I don't look at him as a captain.
I'm just looking at it in the isolation of what Portugal can achieve with or without Ronaldo on the world stage. I don't think they can afford to play without him. At least from this moment looking back. Now we have certainly more players that can step up,
Yeah.
and that definitely will be able. Like if you look at what they've been able. Do you guys remember fucking Ed Dare?
Yeah, I mean, him. After he scored that goal, he disappeared.
Remember Ed Dare? Yeah, exactly, but then that's it. He disappeared, and now you have at least. I know you can name at least 3 players on that Portugal team that can bang in some goals. Whether it's midfield with Bernardo Silva, whether it's a forward line with João Felix, whether it's even Bruno or someone else.
He's kind of
Bernardo Silva is
kind of quiet, right?
He had a really good leader for Leipzig, and he's been quiet ever since.
So I'm just saying that like on the question of do you play Ronaldo, I don't think Portugal have a choice because they wouldn't be where they are without him. So might as well. I know, and I say this fully understanding that probably it's a detriment to them. What obviously playing this one's position in their starting 11 is already reserved, and you can't play or experiment or test out somebody else. Maybe they'll never know what's better for them now. But I think right now they have no other choice other than to play because he shows up.
It's fair. Quick shout out to my main man Mitrovic. Respect my man, all right?
Oh my!
Respect my man.
We're probably
50 goals in 75 games. That's faster than the likes of Ronaldo and all these scrubs. Mitrovic.
So why is he your man?
So you're a metrosexual?
You're
I'm
metrosexual?
metrosexual.
Oh.
That's serious, bro.
Would you
Has
take
a hairy chest and shit.
Would you take a Mitrovic January transfer to Arsenal?
Ooh. Honestly, bro, I wouldn't be opposed to it, bro.
Kenny is better, bro.
Nah, I mean, well, look, Mitro has more goals right now than a lot of other players in the league. So I think he's like 3rd, 4th right now for goal scorers.
Right now, yes.
Third. He has scored in every single game.
So, I don't know,
He's
man.
a class,
I'm not look. Respect the man. Just he's doing what everybody said he wasn't gonna do. So you have to give respect for him doing what he's doing now. That's how I look at it, right? I'm right or wrong. You keep bashing on him and you just think, he scored for one game. Ha! He didn't score one game? No. Respect him, man. Mitrovic. Watch, he's gonna make a big move.
Imagine Arsenal JF.
Imagine it doesn't happen.
You heard it here first.
Heard it here first.
You heard it
I
here
put it out there and he's fucking scores 50 goals like Haaland.
Easy tweet from immediately.
I mean, just last night, I'll say, I kept mentioning it, Mexico choking to Colombia.
Bro, crazy.
2-0 up, 3-2 lost.
Crazy.
There was a meme on Twitter I saw. It was hilarious. It was the 2-0 before the half, and then it was the 3-2 after, and then the meme was the Colombian team holding the remote in the first half. They're just laying down, and in the second half they did the lean.
And two teams that never make the World Cup. One team that never makes the World Cup, and the one that does. Honduras beat Guatemala 2-1.
2-1, bro.
So that's no relevance. Just wanted to mention it.
I got bragging rights. Bragging rights. That's it.
Bragging
For what? For not making the World Cup just like us? Congratulations.
For beating you until the next meeting.
Do you think Mexico make it out of the group?
No.
Yes.
No.
Does
I
anyone
can't
have it?
wait
Yes,
for
because-
World Cup.
No.
Yes,
Poland,
yes,
Argentina,
because...
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, please cut that.
Whoa.
Please cut that. Please cut that.
Wait a second.
Say clip.
Clip.
Thank you.
Clip what?
Because he's all up in my face saying no. They're
No,
going to get
I
out of
was
the group.
all up in the mic.
Wait. So you really think they can get past Argentina and Poland?
Poland.
I think they can.
I've
get
said it
past
from
Poland.
day one. As soon as the groups came out, I said Argentina, Poland. I've said it from day one.
I can't wait.
I can't wait for
till-
World Cup
I
talk.
can't wait till
World
God gets
That's
that.
World Cup talk. That's
Like,
World Cup talk. That's World Cup talk. Anything else for international break that we missed?
Hey, bro, they do that.
Just a lot of injuries, I guess.
A lot of
No,
injuries.
but shout out to Wilmer Barrios for that golazo, the third Colombia goal.
That shit was crazy,
That
bro.
was a good goal.
They were good goals. I'm not gonna blame it. And then they put Cesar Montes. It's Mexico national team talk. I think that it showed their weaknesses, and I'm glad because they're not good on set pieces. That's been one thing that
Leicester of the national.
they've been terrible at set pieces, and then they put on two defensive players that don't do great when after the 60th minute, and then that's when the comeback started.
You know what I noticed though, real quick? That in Latin America, they take friendlies very seriously.
Of course they
Oh,
do.
wow, yeah.
But compared to Europe, they don't.
No.
Well, no.
Because I was looking the Colombia Mexico game, they were going like crazy.
In Europe, even those
And
friendlies,
that was a
they
friendly,
know
right?
Yeah.
they know in Europe that they're gonna see
a
these
friendly,
teams again
going
anyway in
100
these
miles
big
per
tournaments. And in Latin America, you
In a
might not see
friendly.
this.
Europe barely has any friendlies now. Now that they added the
Well,
Nations League.
well, yeah, it's Nations League, but it's glorified friendlies. We all know
Yeah.
that.
And then every single year is qualifying for whatever tournament.
And these players always 100%, right? All right, so let's move on to anything else on the international stage that we ever missed? No, we're good. Move on. Move forward.
Just a fair share.
I just
right?
want
It's
World
just-
Cup to come around.
Well, the only thing I'm gonna say is between Netherlands, Croatia.
Oh, you already giving your top four for World
Spain.
Cup?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
You're
The
talking
UEFA
about
Nations
Nations
League.
Which one? No,
Oh.
Who cares about nations?
No.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
yeah.
I'm just saying Croatia, Italy, Netherlands, and Spain
And
are the
Spain.
final four to get the trophy. That's it.
For the Nations League trophy, yes.
Don't ask anything else on the international break, and I'm answering.
Is there anything else?
I think
Blow your fucking whistle.
Okay.
I'm answering your fucking question.
injuries would have been better talk then.
For real, bro. All these fucking injuries.
No, they're not gonna go
But all right, so we have the three games that we'll see them for last actually. So we're gonna go over some other games, give a quick overview, and then predictions. But we have obviously the three games that we're gonna be giving predictions for the point system game we have going on. How many more game weeks do we have? 4?
Well, they canceled game week 7, so we should probably go up until game week 11.
Okay. All right. So first game, Liverpool Brighton. This is gonna be interesting. Liverpool. I forget what your last results have been, but Brighton lost. After it's been so long, it feels like it's been forever. No more Potterless Brighton. Will they still have the magic?
No.
Apparently they appointed a really good manager. I don't
This is
fuck
gonna
all
be-
about him, but
This is going to be interesting. Yeah, I don't know anything about him either, but
apparently he's really good.
from the little I've heard, De Zerbi, if that's how you pronounce his name, he's very Bielsa-like.
Mm.
There's some Bielsa-esque to
So-
him, so it sounds like there's where we might see a more attacking Brighton, but also a lot of concessions as well. But
So
we'll
leads
see.
to winner?
There is talk that he very well might just go in there and say, okay, 3 at the back is working for you guys, so let's just keep going for now and see what happens. So I'm curious to see how this works out.
Okay. Any other thoughts on
It's gonna
first
be a
day?
slaughter fest for Liverpool.
Slaughterfest?
I hope so.
Really? Why you met a Brentford and probably go?
I am sort of. I know they're probably put some people argue they're put between a rock and a hard place they have to cash in. Maybe this chance won't ever come for them to get whatever money they got off of Potter leaving.
They made
But
so much
still,
money
bro.
off the players already.
I
Yeah,
think
but now like Potter left, but like the squad is still the same, and now they're probably gonna see it as okay. I gotta make sure I fight for my spot under the new manager. So I think they're gonna keep ticking along.
I don't know, bro.
It's like it's one thing when you sell your best players. It's another thing when you sell your best players and the manager that got you there. So it's like you're shooting yourself in both feet now.
Mhm.
So I think Liverpool Slaughterfest.
Yeah, I think Thiago's back as well. Well, he's been back, but I think everything that Thiago's fit, I think I'm protect away.
He brings those thumbs ups, those good vibes.
Any other?
We got over that horrible season. Thiago high, we were in the trenches that season. He's actually good.
Fabinho, he's back too.
Yeah, I really think everyone's fit.
Everyone's
We don't have
Naby
so
Keita.
you guys have Brian this week, and then we play each other next the following week.
Yeah.
So we got an interesting.
Man City and fucking.
Oh,
Yeah, we get. Yeah, that's gonna be a crazy fucking.
October's a
El
crazy
Clasico
month.
that day as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, October
crazy.
16th is like every derby across the top 4, top 5.
It's gonna be a crazy month. All right, Southampton, Everton. Does Frank Lampard do it again with his men to get us the second dub of the season?
Against Southampton.
Southampton home.
Yeah.
No.
They lose.
Everton lose.
Didn't what's his name get hurt?
Patterson.
Patterson.
I don't know if and Pickford. I think is still
Mm,
out.
yeah.
Although Begovic did, yes, it was one game, but Begovic did do decently, but no,
No,
Southampton.
Southampton.
Yeah.
Back to losing ways.
Back to losing ways. This was a shout out for a game to predict on, but wasn't one Fulham Newcastle. Good game. Mitrovic.
This is gonna be a good game. Isak got injured, and Callum Wilson coincidentally is back. I was telling Diego the other day that Callum Wilson with his own black magic, trying to injure Isak and getting himself back to match fitness. So
Any update on that, by the way?
2 to 4 weeks.
On the public thing?
On the Pogba thing,
Oh,
bro,
Pogba.
it's I feel like it's gotten even worse.
Really?
I don't think he's gonna be back.
I feel like it's gotten even worse because there's just like his brother,
Mateus.
whatever. His brother
Mateus,
Matias
yeah.
just keeps he just keeps spewing more and more and more and more. You're gonna see he's a terrible person. It's all about money, about whatever. And then like the other update that like he did admit to police that he did use some sort of money for something, but it wasn't for witchcraft. It was to yes, I did use it for witchcraft, but it was to protect myself. Bro, it's all over the place.
Graham Sounds probably having a field day right now.
A little bit similar to that, all that crazy stuff, and a little bit of sadder topic. You guys remember that Molina guy?
Molina.
Where he
what?
like exposed like all like French.
Yes. What
So
happened
he
to
came
that?
out with the space today, like a bunch of like fucking. There's like 100,000 something French people in his space. And he basically just continued it about like how like sexual like assault and like rape is like so common in like these like Latin American countries, African countries, and sort of like, so he was talking about like Haiti, Gabon, places in Central America, how like these like it's crazy, bro. Like the coaching staff would do like kids to like U15, U16 children. He would just continue like what he said like a couple like months ago, like a year ago, like the whole like this is like very common. Apparently there's a lot of cases, even this in like top 5 leagues as well. So it's like it's crazy, bro.
I heard about that too.
It's
Especially I
crazy,
heard it
bro.
mainly in Africa with the women's teams out there.
Yeah,
It's kinda
bro.
crazy.
I completely forgot about Molina's update.
Yeah, he
for
came out with
real.
stuff today, and then there was like stuff about like Macron, France's prime minister or president, or whatever, and he was like basically saying how he would silence people, and FIFA would try to give out contracts so they would stay silent. They offered him a contract for him to stay silent and not say anything. Obviously,
No, I'll be a contract. Shit.
it's crazy.
That's wild, bro.
Interesting. But yeah,
Great.
Fulham Newcastle might be a good game.
Okay, my question is, when Mitrovic get on the score sheet?
For real.
Mitrovic home score sheet. Yes.
Yeah. Oh wait, Fulham are home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eso, mi Mitro! Is he got a score sheet?
No.
I honestly feel this is going to be a high scoring game.
I don't
know.
I
don't
hope
know,
not for
bro.
Like,
fantasy
For
purposes.
fantasy purposes, I hope
not.
not.
I mean, Newcastle's, I don't know, whatever.
We move on to a team that, according to the guy, looks better without Scott Parker. Bournemouth versus Brentford.
Brentford.
Since Scott Parker has been sacked, Bournemouth have looked better.
So the
They
good
have-
vibes
because-
continue to the weekend.
Who's the coach?
That's just a classic man, new manager bounce.
I think it
It's
is.
so classic.
I think it is.
So it's so inevitable.
Who are they playing? Brentford? No, it doesn't continue. It doesn't continue. Brentford are they just have a little bit more quality, a little bit more determination. So no, it doesn't continue.
Are we getting Ivan Toney or Ivan Phony?
Honestly, for selfish purposes and fantasy purposes, I hope Ivan Toney, but in my pure belief, I'm gonna have to stick to Ivan Foyt. I think his nice little purple patch is over. I feel like it's not gonna continue from that boy. and he's gonna go back to default settings from
Thank
last
you.
season.
He's gonna listen to this pod and he's gonna get happy.
Drogba reincarnate. Sure.
Absolutely.
The Drogba region.
Absolutely. Yes.
He's gonna show up.
Yes. He's gonna score a goal. Nothing too crazy.
He can
Little
score a goal. He can score.
Yeah,
But
little
is the
goal.
Drogba region gonna come back and scores a hat trick
Yeah, a
against Bournemouth?
little goal. Not too crazy.
Bro, that's setting the bar kind of low, bro.
I'll say you good over there?
I'm just checking the fixtures. That's all.
Anything?
I think it's gonna be a draw.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, both teams. I mean, have been showing some kind of like consistency, but also fall off as well.
All right. Pretty. I would say pretty good game. West Ham versus Wolves. West Ham at home. Wolves
God.
looking.
These are two teams that need
to
to have something.
These are two teams that need to learn how to score by the weekend.
For real.
You said West Ham's home.
Yes.
That was a tough one, but I'm gonna have to give it to West Ham.
I agree with you.
I want to see how Wolves line up now that they don't have Collins for a couple games after that karate kick. But no.
Do we get Diego Costa?
Oh, Diego Costa's back. You're
Did he finally
right.
get his
I don't
permits in
know.
order?
It was
I
that.
don't
know if he
no,
did.
he
He
did.
did.
It was just last. Yeah, he just wasn't in time or something like that to play the game. But he's good to go, from my understanding.
Is
Forgot about that.
enough? Is that gonna be enough?
No, he's fucking
Him
washed.
replacing Raul Jimenez.
I feel like
Jimenez,
yeah,
Fabio
okay, he
Silva.
could be washed, but he's still gonna like. Just imagine Diego
He's gonna like
Costa.
scare like.
Okay, just like corner kick whipped in. Diego Costa bites Zuma's ear. Let's the
Right, he was scared of a
fucking
wolf.
let's Ruben Neves go in fucking 50-yard shot from. Come on, bro. It's perfect formula. Perfect formula.
What did you say?
He was scared of that wolf in his announcement video. He like brought out like a wolf. But either way, who isn't scared of wolves?
I'm not. I love Wolves.
I think.
Wolves.
I think it's.
I think it's gonna be a dead game.
Yeah, it has no written on it.
Yeah, it
It's
does
got
have no
it has
written
no
all
no
over it.
written all over it.
It's gonna be a fast-paced game, but if it happens, it has to be a good game. It's gonna be a good game, I think.
Okay. All right. Leeds versus Aston Villa.
That's gonna be a boring game.
I disagree.
I disagree.
No, I
Villa,
disagree.
Villa have not been an exciting team to watch at
But
all.
Leeds
They haven't, but
I feel like Leeds
Leeds
have.
have, yes, but Villa have.
but not to jump the gun too much, but their fixtures over the next couple of weeks are not that bad
Who's
for
this?
Villa. For Villa, so I think going up against a team like Leeds could be the one that they need to kind of turn their season around. So I think it's gonna be a good game.
Okay.
Who's home? Leeds is home. Right?
Leeds is
Leeds is home, bro. I think it's a perfect. I think it's a
I think
perfect
so.
scenario for them to come back and kickstart because
As
the
a
Leeds
Villa.
have dropped off. And
Yeah, for both teams. Yeah.
Is
And-
Jesse
I
Marsh
think
is
it's true
not
for
on the
both teams
bench?
actually. Huh?
Justin Marsh.
I think he's off the bench. Was he red carded last game?
Yeah.
I thought it was the game before that.
But
Leeds haven't played in like over a
Yeah.
month because they got canceled and blanked, and it's I think so.
it was
right.
it was Leeds Brighton, no?
So I don't think he's there for the game.
Or was it
then.
Brighton Palace?
No, I think the last time Leeds played was game week 6 because then game week 7 was canceled, and then
I'm gonna look
they
that
got
up.
postponed in 8 because of.
It was against Brentford. He got
Yeah.
sent off.
And
So
that was the
they
last
haven't
game.
Played in over a month.
That was the last
so I
game.
think so. Yeah.
So he's not gonna be there for the game. Okay, this looks like it's favoring. Well, it depends if you think it makes a huge difference or not. But I mean, yeah. What do you think? Aston Villa, Leeds. Who's walking away here?
Leeds home. Leeds.
I think I would give it to Leeds, man. Honestly.
Excuse me.
High scoring 2-2.
And last but not least, Leicester versus Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest.
No
If
chance.
This
No
this is the
chance.
game that I feel like if Leicester does not win,
We've said this for like the fifth
this has to
I
be
feel
the
like
one.
100 times already, bro.
No, this
This
has
to be.
This has to be the one. Come on. I mean, no offense to Nottingham Forest and all due respect, but if Leicester can't even provide,
They fucking suck. Oh, sorry. What were you saying?
if Leicester just can't get 3 points out of Nottingham, I mean,
They
honestly,
have to win. Okay,
They have to win.
You want a quick? Because I remember reading something. Quick stat troll for the Leeds Villa game. Villa have won their last 2 away league games against Leeds, while Leeds have won just once out of their last 10 Premier League home games against Aston Villa.
Oh,
Wow.
once?
Yes. Their record is 1-5-4.
See, those
It
are
was a
very
3-1
good
win.
stats for betting, bro.
And it was a 3-1 win on the final day of the 2003 campaign. So they apparently historically have not fared well against Aston Villa. I for some reason in my head I just see Leeds doing well, but I feel like this could be, the Ronaldinho licking her lips for Aston Villa. You never know. But going over to Leicester, Nottingham, it's
Leicester have conceded 22 goals. Nottingham Forest have conceded 17.
So they both suck
They
defensively.
both- they're both in
Leicester
the bottom
sure,
three, but I think in terms of attacking, I would still say Leicester have better quality in attack. So I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I think it's one Leicester has and will win. Has to win
what
and
the
will win.
fuck?
Can I give a stat?
Of course.
Leicester, even though they're in last place with 1 point, they have scored more goals than 11 other teams in the league.
And Nottingham Forest.
God damn.
Nottingham Forest are pushing 15 expected goals conceded. Even though Leicester have officially conceded more, Nottingham Forest are expected to have a high expected goals conceded. So people are just breaking through easily.
Yeah.
West Ham and Wolves with the least amount, each with 3.
Bro, this is a bad one too, bro. Because Leicester have only won once out of their last 7 games against Forest,
Shit.
and Forest have won 6.
It's a tough game to call, but I'm gonna go with Leicester.
It has to be.
It has
It has
to
to
be.
be.
That has to be. Famous
Has
last
to be.
words? It has to be Leicester. All right.
Not
all right.
Rodgers is gone.
As we said that
Famous last
plenty
words.
of times.
Tuchel,
All right.
coach.
So now that we got those games out of the way, we have our final 3 games that we're going to give a prediction for. First one being early Saturday morning. 7:30, I believe.
Yeah,
7:30 a.m. The North London Derby, Arsenal hosting Spurs.
Kiss me.
When? I'm
Now,
sorry.
that's what you were saying earlier. There's some injuries on Tottenham. What's going on?
There is, but they are expected to be back this weekend. It's just not 100% sure. The likes of our captain Hugo Lloris, who has a thigh injury. Ben Davies, who has been starting under Conte since the beginning of the season. He might still not be available for this weekend. And Christian Romero, apparently he played through injury in the last game against Leicester. So apparently he's not 100% fit, maybe like 85. And the last person is Lucas Moura. I know he hasn't been starting, but he is one of the, I guess, first choices when it comes to substitutes. So those are our injuries right now. So it is not 100% sure that whether or not they're going to be available this weekend. Or
So
not.
in terms of the keeper situation, though, I know Goodies is expected to be back. It might be better if you just start Fraser Forster. He has a good record in Arsenal, doesn't he?
No, I agree. I agree with Nick's line right now.
Eric's dead.
What'd you say?
Fraser Forster.
No.
He's in Southampton, right?
He was at Southampton, yeah, but he had a pretty decent game the last time he was between the sticks against Arsenal.
I mean, that's heavy like.
But this is
Yeah,
a North. This is
that's
a North
like a
London
crazy-
derby.
No, yeah, it's probably
Different
more.
environment.
It's like because one guy scored. It's like because of this is Guatemala player. I think it's Pablo Ramirez, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Pablo who scored against Brazil? This is a Guatemalan player that scored against Brazil, and I know this because my parents took me
Oh,
to,
bro, I know exactly what
took
you're
me to
talking
a
about.
restaurant in Guatemala. This guy has a whole fucking restaurant, soccer field inside,
I know
mini
exactly
soccer
what you're
field,
talking about.
and the Brazilians, the shoe that he scored against Brazil with.
Or my dad.
The
told me
the
the same
what?
thing, bro.
The shoe that he
The cleat.
scored against Brazil, the cleat, the boot was like that was like the main
Oh,
focus.
man.
So because he scored against Brazil, he's gonna score against Brazil again. I can guarantee you that. That's what I said.
That's the same logic. That's funny. So what's your score prediction, Jose?
Away at Arsenal top of the league. It's gonna be a really tough one.
I mean, yeah, you want to bring up all these other stats about these, the past X blah, blah, blah. What's this one? What's this one? What's this history? Tell me.
I mean, the last time we played was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
No. We're talking about home and away. Now you want to specify at Tottenham. No. I want to hear the stats. You want to bring up all these other ones. I want to hear the stats of Arsenal versus Spurs at the Emirates.
Imagine it's like Spurs win.
No, it's not. It's actually very, very heavily favored to Arsenal.
It is favorite to Arsenal.
So I hear fucking Leeds this, fucking Nottingham, Leicester City that. Nah, I want to hear. There's no context here.
Okay,
There's
ready?
no context.
Sorry,
This
He
is
just
I
wants-
have it saved because I was looking it up before, but it's for my prediction. I'm heavily basing my prediction off of these stats as well, to be completely transparent. But I want Dyer to give his score prediction first.
Spurs 3,
Jesus Christ. if it's not Arsenal 4 at the end of this,
Eric's face.
It's like I 1-0, I'll even accept from you, but like, come on, dude.
Okay, Spurs 3.
No. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart,
well,
First
okay.
three.
I mean, look, why did you be Spurs 3? So that'd be the
say
funniest
Spurs
thing in the
3.
world.
Spurs 4, Arsenal 2.
Really 4-2?
4-2.
All right, you know what? Just in that spirit, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna say these stats last because I don't want them to influence. I'm already influenced, so I'm fucked. But I'd rather you guys give your score prediction than I'll go last, including Marconius.
I think it's going to be a pretty high scoring game.
Spurs 3.
It's going to, but Arsenal are home.
So
3-2 Arsenal.
Nico?
Hey,
2-1 Tottenham Hotspurs.
and another one. Okay.
The 2-1. Leicester 2-1.
Nah, that's respectful. Though. Like, fucking out here.
4-2. I mean,
Shut up. Go ahead.
I hate this because I want clean sheets, but I don't think it's gonna happen. 3-1 Arsenal.
I know I'm thinking right now because I'm in between 2-1 Arsenal or 3-1 Arsenal. I'm with 3-1 Arsenal.
So what's the difference between yours and his?
yeah.
We're home, and he'll tell you the stats.
Yeah.
You guys,
Oh, was
you
it?
literally were just using all these stats for all these other teams.
And
And it's good for betting.
I didn't
No, I don't want to hear it. It's selective. You guys choose, and you guys choose when and for who to use these stats for. Not all you guys. Diego's obviously not because he's gonna pull it out right now. But some of you choose when and who you use these stats for, and then when it's not to your agenda, you don't bring it up. But Diego, I'm happy about it.
I said my prediction before Diego said.
I know exactly because you look at the other stats.
Eric's reaction is like
No
Kanye's,
respect.
you ain't got the answers, Sway. You ain't got the answers. All right, you ready for this? I'm gonna give my prediction first. My prediction is 3-2 Arsenal, and the reason for this is I'm gonna read this off really quickly. Tottenham have lost 2 of their last 3 league meetings with Arsenal, as many as they had in the last 13, so they're not doing very well. Arsenal have won 2 of their last Premier League home games, last winning 3 in a row against them between February 2012 and September. But the most important one, Arsenal have lost only once in their last 29 Premier League home games against Tottenham Hotspur with a record of 17, 11, and 1.
Crazy stat.
And they're unbeaten in their last
They don't
11
have
against them at the Emirates since a 3-2 loss back in November 2010.
Can I try my
No,
prediction?
I want to leave it there. I want to leave it there. Just leave it there.
You change
And look. And then if it hits that score line, I'm gonna be eating humble pie come next week. But I'm just saying, just
What?
I just
You're shaking my hand?
I just want.
Oh,
I just,
you shake your
Why
hand.
you shake my hand?
You shake your
Just
hand.
because he wants you guys to win.
Just make sure
Just for the viewers, and just for like the actual context. Look at the agenda here. Look at the agenda.
You said 3-2 Arsenal, right?
Yes, I think it's going to be
Just make
3-2.
sure you update this because you have his 3 on the Spurs side.
You see, bro? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I got robbed. I got robbed that belt right there. That should be my belt. I'm telling you, bro.
Actually, I would prefer if it was on you because guy's a little bit.
Oh shit! Nah, I put it wrong as well.
You put 3-1 Art Spurs for me.
I mean, we would have gotten that.
Yeah, but still.
Yeah,
How many times
I
I
put it
put
for
you?
Marco as well. Fuck.
Yo, Nick, are you okay?
Yo, we need that whiteboard up here now, bro. ASAP, bro.
I think at the end of the 5 weeks, I think we had to change scorekeepers too.
We have to get the whiteboard. I mean, everybody sees it. All right, so that's the Northern Derby. The next one, another from. You know, let's go to the other game first because this is down for last. Let's go to where's that? Crystal Palace hosting Chelsea. The new Potter Chelsea. Are they gonna bring the magic?
Palace 2-0.
Palace 2-0.
Wow.
Palace 2-1.
Palace 2-1.
I'm going Palace Chelsea 1-1.
Palace 2-1. Okay.
Palace 2-1.
Okay.
2-2. Obama goal, Zaha goal.
Did you say Obama?
Obama?
Obama game.
Obama.
I mean,
Former
typically,
president.
I said Obama, yeah, but it's Obama.
yeah, typically it's Obama, but yeah.
Former President Barack Obama signed a 1-day deal, scores a goal.
Yo, Todd Bowley must love his Americans, bro. All right, so 2-2. this is a hard game to predict, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go. You said draw, right?
I said
No, you
2-1.
said win. I'm gonna go draw. I'm gonna go 1-1.
Go for it too.
I'm very interested to see how this Chelsea team line up, because we haven't seen a Potter Chelsea since that one
Champions League game.
Champions League game when they drew.
Guy knows his first game. He had
Yeah.
he had international break to kind of match with the players that were there at least. And just think about the question I asked you before. Do you want to?
But I think the ones that he's going to use are the ones that are coming back, so he hasn't had
Exactly.
as
That's
much
what
time.
I'm saying. Like, yeah, think
So
about
we'll see.
Mason Mount did have a good game against England. Maybe that could be his little pick me up for these kind of games.
Havertz did have
Havertz
a
had a
good
break.
game.
Havertz
Havertz had a
game,
brace,
too.
I think.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
I guess you guys are gonna give prediction.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he wrote them down correctly too.
oh okay. I'll have to finish my bad. And last but not least, the Manchester Derby.
Bum, 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 bum.
I guess we'll save you guys for
Who's
last.
Manchester City, our home.
Etihad.
At the end. So, there. Kimmy, how you feeling about this game?
Haaland hat trick. 3-1.
Wow.
Nick, does Haaland make Martinez a
I forgot.
A little shorter.
certified short person?
You're gonna fucking flame me for this.
You just say Manchester to win.
Hey, I am.
I know you will.
Let's
This
go,
guy
Nick.
is the
Let's go,
biggest-
Nick.
He's a
Let's
big
go,
girl.
Nick.
Honestly, for Halloween, dress as a flip flop. Get a big ass, just be a big ass flip flop, bro. Please.
Bro, it's a United win, bro.
I wanna-
Do scoreline, bro. I don't want to hear anymore from you. honestly.
But United always cook City away. 2-1 United.
I just don't understand how this
Dang.
guy went for the biggest, like a Haaland this, Haaland that. to
I mean,
like,
personally, I don't mind that.
It's
Bro.
just
I don't mind it either,
I'm
but
2-1 United.
I do mind it.
You scored.
I don't mind
Who
it.
scores for City?
Nah, I see. I'll go to Brian.
I hope not.
Yo, you gave so much shit, and I can
Yo,
see them winning 100%.
Bro, Haaland can
No, but I'm saying you gave so much shit that Martinez this, that, and the other, and now you have the best striker right now in the league who's like twice the size of this guy, going at it. You're not even
Yes,
considering
twice the
that.
I am, but I'm going off. Okay. I wasn't aware of the Arsenal Spurs record.
Oh,
I wasn't aware. Fucking 28 games, 1 loss or whatever. I am aware of
Well,
the
me too.
United's record away at the Etihad, so
That is true.
that's why.
all right. So you're gonna win how much?
2-1.
2-1.
No,
Marco.
3-2.
Oh.
City.
I can see that too. 3-2 City. I'm gonna go 2-1 City.
Goal scorers.
Haaland's definitely on the score sheet. Maybe a brace.
I mean, I was kidding about the hat trick. But at the same
You
time,
said it. You
but at the
said
same
it.
time, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's on record.
Dude,
You
you
can't
can't.
do it. It's on
No,
record.
no, no, no.
Let me say something ridiculous and then say I was just kidding. Oh, wait. You said Haaland hat trick. You
I
gotta
do
stay
it.
10 toes.
I do it to troll you.
Oh my god.
That's it. To troll you.
And then you get mad when we troll you for being a Spurs fan.
No. What? It's
You
just
wanna-
how
Haaland
I'm
you wanna
scoring on
go- you wanna
you
go
guys.
first, Steven?
How fearful you guys are of Haaland, of what he could, of the devastation he could bring, or do you think it's gonna be another Manchester?
The thing is, like, okay, I'll go first. The thing is that, like, no player in history, in Premier League history, has scored 3 consecutive hat tricks ever. I'm backing myself up on that. However, this is fucking Haaland, who has not played in the league before. The last player to have 3 home hat tricks at all was Aguero.
In a row?
No, just 3 home hat tricks
For the season.
for the season. 3 home hat tricks for the season. Like, just 3 hat tricks in a single season was Aguero. And so for someone to do that, it's fucking unprecedented. Also, the one thing that has, like, it's copium. It's straight copium. I'm copying hard as hell. In the last 21 matches between City and United, the away team wins. Further backed up by the fact that United have a decent record away at Man City. So that's why I'm gonna say 2-1 United, and I feel like it's gonna be a fucking hard thing it's going to be a hard thing to accomplish because I also am aware the last 5 managers that have faced their first Manchester Derby have all lost. All of them. After Ferguson. Ferguson was the last person to do so. To actually face the Manchester Derby and come away with a win. So everybody from Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho, whatever, they've all lost that first matchup. However, when it comes to the return fixture and United are away, for some reason United just happened to do much better. So I'm going to win United. I'm just coping and I'm bracing myself for getting it straight up the ass from Holland, probably.
None of us give us. I feel like we rarely give draws when it comes to big games.
Yeah.
I think we want to see a winner. That's
Yeah.
fair. Right, that's fair.
Can I
Yeah.
change my prediction?
No, shut up.
No.
Nah.
Nil, bro.
You're crazy.
You went from Haaland hat is
Listen,
more like
Varane and Martinez versus Stones and
Nah.
Diaz.
Nice taking the piss. Nice
Stones,
taking
I
the
think,
piss.
quote me if I'm wrong. Listening to
Hamstring.
you guys, Stones is injured.
Yeah, he was hurt last game. I think he came out early, right?
Yeah.
For
Oh.
England.
Can I change my prediction?
Oh my god.
That's the third time in the same game.
Well,
No.
now that Stones is injured, I'm thinking
No.
that.
And then we also have to consider, like, I know it's going to be a crazy feat, but I also understand, like, a high-scoring game for City also because they're leading the league in goals in the first half with 10, and they're also leading the league in goals for the second half with 13. Just either of those is more than what United have scored throughout the season, which is 8.
That's crazy.
So it's going to be a huge feat. I think I'm a little excited for the spectacle, I hope. But anyway, it's hopeful thinking.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not fearful of Holland. I'm just a little nervous because he's a competitor. It's his first Manchester Derby, so I think he's gonna want to go all out. But I'm excited and hopeful because we've looked a lot better, and especially defensively, we're a little more solid defensively.
That break, like David just said.
Mm-hmm.
So, the positive news: Maguire seems to be injured.
Thank God.
Thank goodness he's guaranteed not to start,
Exactly.
which means we're gonna play so much better.
So
So that's why I'm excited because we've been looking a lot better. We've shored up a little bit defensively. We have our center back partnership. It's here to stay.
What's the prediction, guy?
2-1 United.
Okay.
Oh, that for the same prediction as Diego?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Before we move on to Fantasy 15, real quick, I saw a tweet. Does everyone, do you guys agree that the Champions League should open up 6 spots instead of 4 for the Premier League? For the Champions League?
No.
and
So it should be top 6? instead of
that's
top
favoritism.
No.
That's probably us being more Premier League fans than anything else.
But like, if you think about it, there's a lot of good teams in the Premier League.
There is
So that are missing
Alright,
out on Champions League.
so
For example, Arsenal last season.
correct. Arsenal last season and Manchester United as well. So, but if we move it to 6, and then Europa would be fucking who?
Doesn't
West Ham?
England?
It's not even.
No, that'd be like that's like Palace Brighton territory.
Yeah, and then that's like a big step.
Historically.
So, yeah.
And then you also have to think if you add two more Champions League spots, they have to take it away somewhere else.
Yeah.
And there's already a lot of teams in all these other unknown leagues.
So you're taking about
You're telling me you
taking
don't
out
wanna
the
see-
Russian teams?
Yeah, you don't want to see fucking Sheriff be Real Madrid ever again?
Or
No, I
Shakhtar
do.
or Shakhtar
Well, that's
Donetsk?
No,
that still can
yeah, I
happen.
do.
But
That's
I
why-
would rather get rid of fucking St. Petersburg Zenit or some shit.
Yeah, I'd
than
rather
have Arsenal.
I'd rather
Tottenham, United.
guarantee Champions League spots to these other leagues that are always stuck playing playoffs just to even get into the Champions League. I'd rather give them guaranteed spots.
Yeah, because
just to
it's
see what
money,
they
it's
do.
money for them too.
Yeah.
I'm
Just to see
just
how
looking
they
at it
do.
from
That's a
a
fair
quality
point,
point of view.
No, 100%. Quality
Because you see
standpoint.
teams like, for example, the only one I can think of off the top of my head, like the Turkish league. Galatasaray has always been a powerhouse in that Turkish league. They're always stuck playing in playoffs just to even get into, I think, just Europa. So like, I would rather see a team like that just go right into
Have you ever watched that Galatasaray?
No.
Only
It's good.
this is the first one that popped into my head, and that's because
What-
we set up his
What Nico's trying to say is that he wants the Super League to come along.
Yes.
Literally what you're saying. No,
Yo,
he's
for real.
he has a point. Because look, I see what Nick is saying at the same time, because if we look at our teams around Europa, when we go to these Europa games, we're playing our second team.
Yes.
We're not playing our first team most of the time.
We
So-
play until the end.
Until the very end. If this was Champions League, on the other hand, we'd be playing our first team day in, day out. Like the Liverpool, Man City, like all these teams. So I see what you're saying, but like also the other side of that coin is you're turning it into a Super League.
Yeah, Super League is good, so.
Yo.
You want an All-Star weekend too?
Yes, please. We saw what the Simon charity match did. I see no difference being it.
They're YouTubers. What do you mean? These are fucking.
They were having fun.
Everyone enjoyed the Sidemen charity match. It
You
was
want
the same
a
exact
quick
thing.
side
for
If
the-
it's like that,
for the
if it's
charity
like
match?
that, I'd be okay with it. But
It's not gonna
you're.
It's not gonna be like that, no.
It's not gonna be like
You're gonna, you want the
What,
All
everyone
Stars
not enjoying it?
All Stars mini games
Have you
like
seen-
Mario Party?
Yeah, have you seen MLS All-Star Weekend? That shit is trash. You literally
Yeah,
have,
because it's trash footballers.
but they have student. I want us to just have a player shoot the ball at the goal. Like,
But that's where the
No, I want to
ideas.
see Austin.
But that's where the ideas are gonna come from. If there's gonna be an All-Star Weekend.
That's Todd. That's
I want to see an All-Star.
Todd Bowley.
That's-
Yo,
I think
Todd
it'd be a
Bowley's
phenomenal
burger
idea.
over here, bro.
No debate.
Doesn't England already have like?
Hey, you haven't had your take on this.
I wouldn't mind an All-Star. Okay, I'm gonna take it a step further. I want to see an All-Star Weekend for all of Europe, not just the Premier League. That's I feel like a little.
All-Star
That's what I said.
That would be whack.
That
though.
just sounds
No,
like
you get the best. Like you separate the best stuff. Like no.
Oh, I think like each
that sounds
league.
like a schedule.
Like everyone, like
Yeah,
everyone, like
everyone.
the league combined. And
Yeah, Leah combined. Yeah, you get.
You know, that'd be tough.
That'd be kind of.
Do you
That'd be
think,
kind of dope.
do you think it would be
But
better Europe's 11 versus South America 11?
ooh.
No, because with South America, it should be Brazil and
Yeah.
Argentina.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So.
Chill.
Respect to Davison Sanchez.
Where the Uruguayos at?
Not
Not
bad,
yet.
and that's
What
it.
the?
Not yet.
Even I'm
Not
saying,
yet.
what the
Not yet.
fuck?
Not yet.
So fucking
Not
Colombia.
better than that.
Maybe Valverde.
Wow, would
Not
you
yet.
would you
But what,
guys want
Ahmed's in there? Fuck you.
Would you guys want to see an All-Star Weekend or an All-Star game, whatever it is that is being introduced? But I'm curious to see that. Honestly, I just don't want to see.
Okay, would we all watch it? An All-Star?
I would watch it, yes.
Oh,
It'd be-
But,
it'd be
but
fun-
at the
I
end of
don't
the
get
day,
that.
we watch it because they put it in front of us. But
It'd be
is it
phenomenal
better
to
for
watch.
the
If
overall
I
game?
had a choice, no, I would not watch it. But
You wouldn't.
like,
You
but like
would.
the YouTube
Fuck you.
charity
You would.
match, since there was nothing else on, I watched it.
You don't want to see fucking De Bruyne sliding passes to fucking St. Maximin or some
But
shit.
the thing is, like, you're assuming that this is gonna be like live play. This is just gonna be like, kind of like how it is for the NBA All-Star game. Just everybody chucking fucking half-court shots.
That's
Okay,
what I
I'd still
said.
love to watch
That's
it,
what you,
though.
and that's fine. But that's what you're not gonna get KDB fucking slotting a pass to like 3 players and to Arnold and St. Maximum. You're not gonna get that. You're gonna get.
I want to see St. Maximin on the wing fucking doing a million step overs.
Nobody's gonna challenge it. Just gonna look at him.
Yeah.
Okay, you got past
They're
me.
not
Alright,
gonna
so
play-
what
they're
did-
not-
that's what you're
they're not-
getting.
they're not
That's
gonna
what
play
you're getting.
100%.
So you don't
They're
think
100%
Would you watch it?
100%.
Everyone here would watch it.
I wouldn't
I would
watch
watch it,
because
yes.
it's probably going to be on a Saturday lunchtime for us. I'm at work, so no, I wouldn't watch it.
That'd be
Look,
fair.
I would
Yeah,
watch it,
100%.
yes, but is it
Right,
going to be
100%.
competitive? Is it benefiting the game at all? No.
I think it
No,
is.
It wouldn't.
It's not.
It benefit for the casual viewer to get those casual into getting into football.
For me, if it was a straight up charity match, like legit,
Yeah.
I would watch that.
That's
but
what
as
the
far
community
as,
shield is.
Okay,
Just replace
but-
that charity fucking
The
all-star
Community
game or
Shield
whatever.
is
I
what
think-
the league leaders versus
versus
Yeah,
FA
Cup
Cup
winners.
winners.
So that has more history, more heritage
Football
behind
heritage,
it,
bro.
Football
I think-
heritage.
I think an All-Star weekend and All-Star game benefits the likes of the NBA, the NHL, the MLB more because there's so many games that they all play. You have 162 games for baseball. You have 80-something games for
That's basketball.
hockey and for
Basketball.
NBA. So the All-Star break, All-Star weekend, however you want to categorize it, it benefits them because they need that break. They
Yeah.
need that break after 40 games.
So what do the football players not need that?
They only
No, they
most
do.
of them they only play 38 games.
Yeah,
the
but-
championship plays 42, 43. Like,
Look at this fucking crazy packed schedule.
but that
That's
that's
what I'm
not
saying.
how
Most they
are
would
you
play
gonna
like
fit
50.
it?
Most they would play 50, 60.
Replace the charity shield with that.
But if you go deep in those tournaments, you play about like 50, 60 matches.
Yeah, and then
Don't
if
you?
play-
all-
replace the charity
Doesn't
shield.
every team come back for friendlies? That's the same amount of time. Started off as a friendly. First, what is MVP, whatever you want to call it, best 11. It's at the beginning of the season.
Exactly. Just replace the charity shield with that.
Right, but
You're all
in
back
theory,
in August.
Right,
or
but in theory, you would
July.
want those August games that what we know as preseason just to be
Build up for the
to
season.
build up for the season. If you throw in this all-star kind of game in there, it's just going to be shits and giggles. No one's going to take it seriously, and they're not going to be as ready for the season as they would. Be
Honestly,
now.
I don't know
honestly,
that. I don't know
look,
that. I don't know
honestly,
that far.
honestly, you could do it. Let's say because nobody has ever said it's going to be a charity thing. By the
No,
way,
it's straight for making money. 100%.
yeah.
It's
Nobody
just-
says charity. The only reason why we're saying charity is because I think
That's
we,
what
we
we want.
mentioned.
But
Yeah,
Top Bowling
and
King said
I
they
mentioned
made
last
this
time.
much
Like,
money.
if it was a charity, then it would have go.
Mhm.
But if you do a game, you only need the players for 2 days, for 3 technically. The day that they show up, if you want to do a pay, like they pay for it to go see all these players interact, and train.
Like media day type shit.
Yeah, and then you just see the interaction of, because they don't usually interact with each other, and then the following day is the day that they play, and that's it, and then they all go back to their teams. So it's 3 days.
Do we want to see them interact? I don't want to fucking see fucking Saliba playing with Kerry Kane. I want to fuck his ass up the next chance he gets.
Okay,
Yeah,
that'd be
but-
fucking great to watch then.
But he's not on the same team.
Soccer trying to injure Harry Kane.
Like just like Hoiberg
That'd be a
trying
spectacle
to
to watch.
No, 100%. Like it's gonna get the. It would 100% get the views. 100%.
People
No,
make
no
them too.
doubt in that. But it's not going to improve the game at all.
No, it has nothing to
It's
do
not
with
gonna.
it.
It's not gonna make footballing better.
At all.
Okay, but what does... Okay, honestly, ethical reasons behind charity match. Obviously, they give it to charity for good reason. But purely from a footballing point, what does the community shield?
It's like
It's
you
a-
said,
it's a version of a
heritage, and it's heritage. At the end of
It's
the
a
day, it's
season
football
kickoff.
heritage. We don't live there, so we don't have those close ties to it.
Yeah,
It's like Liverpool in the community.
To me-
But we don't have those ties to that. Those are the local fans. That's a local fan.
That's when
I
all
don't
the
think it'd be that
listeners
tight,
from the UK say Americans.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you don't get it.
You
You
don't
don't get it. You're not out there.
Over here, we just want what's good. Oh,
I mean, all right,
we
come
want
on.
the meat and potatoes. We don't want
spectacle,
the sides.
We consume a lot of media from the UK from football.
100%.
The vibe that I'm getting, I don't really see that much hype being around. about the community
So
shield.
all right, so let me ask you this thing. Now that since if you're really for it, we gotta talk about like what it would bring to the game. How is this improving the game, and how is the community shield that actually goes to charity not improving the game?
Say it again?
How is like having this All-Star Weekend gonna improve the game, and how is having a community shield that actually gives back to charity not helping the overall
So
game?
that's what I'm saying. Like charity shield, I'm just looking at it as a purely footballing point of view, like actually improving football. I don't see how it improves. Obviously, it improves it outside of
Yeah.
charity. The way that I see the All-Star game is just getting the average casual viewer tucked into a football match. People are gonna say, "Oh, yo, fucking this amount of Premier League All-Stars are playing. Oh, let me see what I've never watched soccer before. I've only watched NFL, NBA. Let me check it out." And then I just think it'd be good for the viewership, for the casual viewers to actually. Let me see what actually.
Yeah, because you're gonna
this sport is
see
about.
you're gonna see a 7-5. That's the scoreline you're gonna get most likely from this kind of game. So the argument for soccer is that it's a low scoring game, it's very boring. So is fucking football. It's like past ourselves. It's typically like 2-3 scoreline.
It's
just
just
adds on
7
numbers to it,
points.
yeah. But the difference, the main argument that soccer gets is that it's this low scoring game, it's very boring, it's a lot of running around. So yeah, you would get the 7-5 in this game, but I guess in my opinion, I don't know about your guys' opinion, the Community Shield does bring that. Again, it is football heritage for the people that live there, so that's their ties to it. But it also brings a competitiveness that the All-Star game would not bring. Like, for example, Chelsea versus... Who was the last one? Chelsea versus Liverpool, right? No, Leicester versus Chelsea.
City Liverpool.
Wait, who's it?
City Liverpool.
And that had...
that
Like,
was competitive.
that was a competitive game. You will not get that with the All-Star Weekend.
But
I don't
I
think
see
so.
the All-Star Games pros just like heavily outweighing what the Community Shield brings.
So
Obviously, just football.
I wanted to look it up before I misspoke because I wasn't aware, but all of the proceeds from gate receipts and match program sales and everything, not only do they go towards the FA selected charities, but they also get distributed to all 124 clubs that have participated in the FA Cup from the first round onwards. So they all benefit, especially when you're talking about the football pyramid, and I think it strengthens Eric's point that the people that have grown up with the Community Shield is something that's part of the footballing heritage. It benefits everybody, so to speak. How much, I can't say to that, but at least from other stuff that I've been reading, and they had some quotes about what Ranieri said and what Guardiola has said. All of these managers, even Ferguson, like, they don't see it as a glorified friendly because it's officially recognized as a Super Cup competition by UEFA. So Pep said it's the first final of the season. Ranieri says we're going to play our maximum when Leicester faced against United in 2016. We'll be at our maximum. United will be at our maximum, and then tying the bow with whatever Ferguson said, he says, you know what? Some people may see this as a match that isn't do or die, but you know we take it seriously. And sometimes if we don't have the players, then we also use it as a barometer for fitness, all across the squad. So I don't think the All-Star game is ever going to reach that level of significance. And as far as replacing it, you could argue, yeah, well, let's just start doing All-Star from now on and let it build up. But I really don't think that as far as like what it means for especially the teams that are involved, the winner of the league and the winner of the FA Cup, you have 2 winners, and then the All-Star team, it's more of a popularity contest.
And then, all right, you keep the community shield. I just add the All-Star game. And you can't break up the injury debate because a completely different sport, but
They're not gonna
in
get
the NBA All-Star game, not a single player in NBA history has gotten injured.
But then again, if you watch and this is probably completely off topic, I know we're gonna go way over the predicted time.
Oh, I already did that.
Yeah, so but we look at the NBA All-Star game back. I would say maybe late '90s, early 2000s. It was competitive. They went hard. It wasn't until like maybe 2000, the 2010s passed.
Mid 2000s, yeah.
It just changed to like again, just a spectacle. It's just everybody shoot half-court shots. Steph Curry shooting 33s and a half.
It's the fucking best dunk in the game.
The best dunk in the game. Well, I mean that's always fun to watch. Let's get real. I love watching dunk contests. But no, there's a difference between that and this All-Star weekend. It just would not be the same. It's NBA was competitive. The All-Star weekend was competitive. It was fun to watch. And I'll be honest, as a person who used to watch it, I don't watch the All-Star game anymore. And usually what comes with the All-Star game, you're gonna get celebrity matches, which is what we already have with the Sidemen and versus the YouTubers. So it's how far is it gonna go? Again, I go back to my old debate. You brought in VAR, you can wait till the challenge flags are gonna come eventually. I'm still standing by that. They're gonna come eventually. You bring in the All-Star weekend, celebrity All-Star is gonna come in too, which they already do. I think what's his name? Not Ferdinand. Roy Keane played in the game recently.
Yeah, the
Legends game. The Legends game. Yeah, the Legends
But
game.
that's always
That's the Legends game. But wait, what are we gonna see? Harry Styles next playing in front of alongside? You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna come from it. LeBron's I would watch it. I would 100% watch that. Don't get me wrong.
But the basketball fucking DeBron with LeBron or some shit.
But now it's just you're just adding so much more to an already very full plate. But I will still watch it. Yes.
So are you in favor of an All-Star game or no?
So it sounds like I am. I'm not, right? You don't know where I really stand. I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of it because again, 100%. It's content. I'm gonna consume it, just like every Arsenal thing I consume. I'm not a big fan of the whole documentaries because it kind of smoke screen. But I watch it though. I love it, but I don't think it's better.
I think it's because it's so open. It's so for you, it's up in the air so much that you don't know to say yes or no to it.
Yeah,
because you don't know what the end result will be.
Yeah, because it could be a very good thing. It could be maybe at the very end of the season, after everything's said and done. One weekend where, all right, guys, we'll get North versus South, put you guys at a hotel for the weekend, a resort for the weekend. You guys can chill, do whatever you want. Kind of like NFL has the
Hawaii
Pro Bowl or something.
Pro Bowl.
Hawaii, yeah.
Pro Bowl style.
Yeah, but after such a long season, you think they're going to be that motivated to just, all right, let's do one more thing?
If I would say it would be on a volunteer basis if they want to go.
Wasn't it you that said like the footballers actually like run more than NFL players or something like that? What was that stat? What was that comparison you had made once upon a time?
About?
It was something about how much more like soccer players actually play and run as opposed to.
Is it with the actual ball?
I think with the as opposed to like the NFL.
I do know a stat behind football where an average footballer only holds the ball for at most like an hour throughout the whole career.
What the fuck?
Is that kind of crazy?
The career?
Throughout the whole career, the most they actually hold onto the ball is like an hour.
I think it was something along the lines of like an NFL field is like the same size as like the 18-yard box.
No. Well, he had said the basketball court is the same size.
The basketball court, that's what it was.
Yeah, but basketball, you're going 90
yeah,
feet.
Basketball
every like minute, bro. Like the
but
basketball
is crazy. Full size.
It's different. It's completely
It's different. What is that exercise that you do that you start?
Suicides. So
basically
the thing with basketball, it's constant sprinting.
Yeah, like it's fucking.
Soccer, you're jogging a lot of the time.
Yeah, and there'd be times where you could actually walk.
And you can walk. Basketball,
you just walk away from
can't.
it.
Like how many times do like centers pick up the rebound and they have to go fucking 90 feet to their fucking low block?
Think about it. Everybody in the basketball court, the 5v5, everybody plays offense, everybody plays defense.
Mm-hmm.
Should be the same thing for soccer, but you see strikers just walking back casually, defenders, who
like
are
Wingers walking off the pitch.
I don't know do it. But yeah, no, I mean it's I don't know, we'll see what happens. Do you guys think it will happen? I think it will happen.
No,
I think
it will happen eventually.
Like 5
you have to sell it differently and put it at charity.
Yes, they got to wrap it up in a different little basket and then.
And don't make an American say it because if not,
yeah,
they're definitely not gonna accept
it. Let's see, if fucking who says it?
Jesse Marsh.
No, he's American.
No, it'd have to be a person, an English person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's an English person, yeah. But yeah. All right, so that's
Big Sam.
Big sense. So that's that. Anything else that we didn't touch on that we should maybe bring up real quick before we get into the last 15? No? All right, so that being said, I'm going to hand it over to the Fantasy 15 crew.
Let's get it. All right, don't start timing it. Yeah. Let me open up here. I want to do a little recap of the draft.
I told you
Bro, bro, talking goes by so fast, bro. Like, what the fuck?
It does.
Yeah, but you want to bring the All-Star Weekend
The
up, bro?
All-Star debate literally
I love
is its
that
own
debate.
is its own pod.
Because even Johnny Gum was trying to like convince me by that. Like he was like, "Oh, I see. I can see it too." But I just don't. I just. It's not that I don't want it. I just don't see it like really changing anything.
We shall see. We shall see. Challenge flags first, and then salary.
I'm
caps, and then
100%
All-Star.
convinced that that's gonna still come eventually, bro. That's gonna come. It's gonna come. Especially with all these fucked up VAR calls, they're gonna have like a third party review.
Do you think it'll come? Do you think challenge flags will come in,
That'd be
in
crazy.
addition to VAR, or will they replace VAR with challenge flags so that it's not being reviewed all the
Ooh.
time, but only being reviewed
When
at
challenge?
certain, only when they think.
No,
What do you prefer, VAR or challenge flag?
Ah,
How many
that's
do you get? How many?
The only reason why I said challenge flags is because
That's-
VAR
How
came
many?
along.
How many
Yeah.
challenge flags do you get a game?
That-
Look, football 3. No, like, I'm not. The only reason why I said challenge flags is because VAR came along. I'm not
Yes,
saying I want
absolutely.
challenge flags.
But what do you prefer, one or the other?
I would
I'll
say
leave it
either,
for. I'll
but
leave it for
either
there. I'll leave it for there.
Oh,
We'll
God,
go to
challenge.
15, but I will ask this question next time.
Neither, yeah.
No.
Neither. You're a perfect one.
Penalty
Ready?
box after you get a yellow card.
Hockey.
Bring the MLS style penalty kicks back, bro. The hockey penalties.
People running off 101.
That's indoor soccer. When you get a red card, you just sit out for 5 minutes and,
Yeah.
then you go right. That's indoor
The
soccer.
orange
I've
card.
gotten a
Oh
blue
yeah, the
card.
orange are gonna introduce it. Fuck.
Man,
Alright,
you-
we go.
I've gotten a blue card in indoor soccer like when I was a kid. It's a 2-minute penalty.
Mhm.
I was like, what? That's a thing?
Yeah.
I hope not. I hope we don't get there, but you're gonna start
Ready?
timer. I'm ready for. We're gonna start with the draft recap. Gonna get into our watch list and some of the things for Game Week 9. A wildcard template, and then we'll wrap it up with captaincy. All right, boys. Hit it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so going over our Benchwarmers draft league amongst the bench, I got shafted by Eric's team thanks to Saliba with a 15-point haul.
Do you see it?
Saliba and KDB doing the work. I'm losing to Eric 55-39. Gat took the win against Nick 34-14, and in a very hotly contested matchup between Josue and Marco, Josue takes the W 43-29. Second highest total for the game week. As far as fixtures for this coming up game week 9, I'm going up against Josue. Marco is against Gat, and Eric is away to Nick's team. So make sure you look at your drafts and how that's going on. As far as standings, we still have Gat in first place with a record of 6-1-1. I'm in second, Eric in third, leapfrogging Nick, who drops down to fourth, Marco in fifth, and Josue in sixth. In fact, 3 of those teams are tied technically for third place because all of Eric, Nick, and Marco are on 10 points for the season. So it's a very tight mid-table battle there, mid-table scrap. But we're going to get into what you guys want to know for Game Week 9. We have a little break, and we're going to get into the watch list. I'll call on you for some of the names for the watch list, but just going over who we had for the update, and this is for your classic fantasy teams. A lot of people have talked about using their wild card for Game Week 9. There are some arguments for holding on to it until Game Week 13, but we'll make the arguments pro and con for that. I know, Gat, you had some thoughts about waiting or playing it now and taking advantage of it. So the watch list updates, just going over some of the names that we have on here from the last time out, which was about 3 weeks ago. It's incredible to think. But we have Pope, Zaha, Tony, Mitrovic, Trippier, Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, KDB, Aronson, Fabian Schär, Fofana, Madison, Bowen, Gordon, Bailey, Rashford, Salah, and Solanke at your own risk. One of the names that we're going to take off of this list is going to be Alexander Isak, how we were mentioning during our international talk, injured while on duty for Sweden. Did you have any other names that you were thinking of probably throwing on there or taking off, Gat?
Nothing in particular to add on. I mean, I know there was a lot of injuries that did happen over the international break as it pertains to fantasy. We did see the likes of Mitrovic hobble off a little bit after his most recent game, but
Yeah.
all signs do point that he should be okay. The likes of Luka Dean, if he's still in anybody's teams, he got injured with a fracture literally as soon as he left, and I don't know, and he played his first game. Kamara for Aston Villa got injured. Patterson for Everton got injured with Scotland. There's definitely a lot of injuries going around. Nothing.
Robertson apparently.
Robert
is still sidelined.
He's still sidelined.
I've heard.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be fit.
Yeah, and I know Eric briefly said it before we started. I know there may be a couple Arsenal worries that we need to keep an eye on.
Last update I heard, they're should be good to go.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
So.
Perfect. Well, the ones in question that were doubts for you guys weren't necessarily, unfortunately, fantasy assets. But
Yeah.
nothing really
Party. Yeah.
nothing really new to add on the watch list. I think so far everyone that's on there has been pretty consistent so far.
We're gonna wait and see what this game week 9 brings as far as players to remove and players to add on for the remainder of the season. This is the final stretch, so from now up until game week 16, when we take the highly anticipated break into the World Cup, we'll see what players emerge. I think it'll be fair to jump right into the wildcard template, Gat.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen, especially last week, just because of what happened with all the postponements and with the passing of the Queen, a lot of people have been forced into wildcarding in game week 8. The original plan, as I did mention to you guys on a prior episode, that it is usually the popular opinion to wildcard during international break because you have that time to just tinker with your draft. If you're the kind of person that wants to chase those price rises, you want to take advantage of that during the international break. Surprisingly, there haven't been any price changes that are worrisome.
Wait until you see the price changes that happened 10 minutes ago.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They got posted. Now is we're going to start to see a lot more activity because everyone is back and everyone is getting ready for the weekend. But, I mean, when you think about those that wildcard in game week 8, those that are going to wildcard in game week 9, there's really not that much that is different between the two teams. The only argument that you can say for those that already did wildcard is that they got on the trains early, but not really because the people that they actually went for didn't really do as expected. So they're going to be in everyone's game week 9 wildcard drafts. Anyway, just to quickly run through what the most popular draft is at the moment, starting with the keepers and then moving all the way to the top. A lot of people are going Pope and Iverson. So it is only a matter of time that Ward is finally benched because he is so shit. So a lot of people are starting to go Iverson, mainly because they need the funds elsewhere because it is a pretty stacked wild card. There is an argument where you can go Guaita instead of Pope because Palace do have a pretty decent run of fixtures. There is a rumor that Guaita might be benched though for maybe one game, so just keep that in mind if that is someone you want to go for. Moving into the defense, there's a lot of your usual suspects on here. The most popular template going forward is most likely going to be a 3 at the back. Those being Reece James, Cancelo, and Trippier. Those are going to be the popular 3-back system going forward for fantasy. And then the other 2 fodder that a lot of people are employing, it was supposed to be Patterson, but now because of his injury, everyone is back on the Nico Williams train. And a lot of people are also going Guehi for Palace because, as I just mentioned, their fixtures do turn for the better for the next couple weeks until the World Cup. The midfield is where most of the talk is going to be had around this wild card. You're still going to see the likes of Andres Pereira. He's still 4.5. He's cheap enabler. He does play pretty well. It's unfortunate that him and Mitrovic didn't get on the score sheet the last time out in the Prem against Nottingham Forest, but a lot of people are just putting that as a one-off. A lot of the new incomings, Madison and Zaha, their fixtures as well just turned. In regards to Zaha, a lot of people are only bringing him in just to bench him because they do play Chelsea in the next fixture. But as I mentioned before, Zaha does tend to turn up in these big fixtures, so I would not be opposed to starting him for this upcoming week. Salah and Martinelli, these two have been the talk of the town because no one really knows what to do with them. Salah has Brighton at home, and Martinelli has been just a steady fixture for Arsenal. Yes, he didn't get on the score sheet the last time out, but A lot of people got on Martinelli so early that they have so much value built up in him, and a lot of people are just afraid to offload him because he's currently at 6.6 million, and they just don't know if they're going to be able to get him back. However, the one argument that I will say to that, both Zaha and Madison are more expensive than Martinelli anyway. So if you do want to go Zaha or Madison or both, if they do not perform to your liking, you could easily just downgrade them right back down to Martinelli.
Is it a downgrade point wise?
It's not a good point wise as far as how they've done in fantasy, yes, but value wise, no, because specifically how Gat is saying it, Martinelli has benefited very much from the wide winger role. A lot of people would say that even in the harder fixtures, he would be able to turn up for Arsenal. And even though Arsenal have a pretty mixed bag as far as their fixtures with Spurs, Liverpool, and then Leeds, with a blank in between because the City fixture was postponed, I think really it's a matter of a lot of people did have even 3 Arsenal players in their squads, and if you were going to keep at least one of them, barring the clean sheets, which Marco had said it would be nice to keep clean sheets, but these fixtures are probably pretty heavy scoring, I would say. And if you keep between Gabriel Jesus, which was the most popular fantasy pick out of all players, out of all managers, the cheaper one is going to be Martinelli. So in that sense, yes, it is a downgrade as far as the amount of value, but it is an upgrade because his points have been pretty steady. Getting on Zaha and Madison is more like that little, it's like a future prediction. Okay, their good fixtures are coming. I'm going to hop on them now and have them in my team for when they do come good, instead of waiting a week or two and then maybe being a bit too late to that train.
And then just to round out the wildcard draft, the forward line, as we've mentioned before, the strikers are finally back from a fantasy perspective. So the forward line is going to be pretty much the same across all teams for the foreseeable future. We're going to see a lot of the 3 up top. Haaland, there's no way anyone's going to get rid of him anytime soon. So he's going to be the steady one up top. And then the likes of Mitrovic, Tony, and Kane are fighting for those last 2 spots. Right now, the template, I would say it was Isak until he got injured. Now there's actually 2 that I would consider. It's either going to be Haaland, Mitrovic, or Tony, or Haaland, Mitrovic, and Kane. It's just a matter of how you choose to spread the funds on your team. You're most likely going to probably set up as a 3-4-3 anyway. So it's just a matter of, do you want to go big in the midfield or do you want to go big up top? So that's what we're going to see going forward. Again, at the end of the day, it is, please make sure you are playing it your own way. Everything is team dependent. So for me, for example, I am not going to wildcard. I'm going to stick around and wait until either the blank that Arsenal and City have in 12 or the week after in 13. So everything is very much team dependent at this point. So I know we have a couple extra notes to consider. If you want to take it away, Dave.
Yeah, man. Jumping into the notes, I think one of the things that I kind of got ahead to was offloading the assets for both the City and Arsenal blank. A lot of people that had Arsenal assets, they have great fixtures after game week 12, after that blank. They play Southampton away, Forest at home, and then Chelsea. And I think that's a good way to lead into what's going to be a long break for the World Cup. And Man City also have pretty decent fixtures after that blank. They play Brighton at home, Leicester away, and Fulham. So for the majority of people that have at most 6 assets from both of these teams, 3 Arsenal and 3 City, we'll say, just for argument's sake, Cancelo, KDB, Haaland, and then Saliba, Martinelli, and Jesus. If you want to wildcard now to get rid of them, that way you don't have to worry about them for that blank, okay? You can probably fit in other players that are budget and that can fit in the midfield slot and stuff like that. Or the other option would be what Dad is looking at doing. Okay, let me stick with these players. I know they're blanking in 12. I'll use my wildcard then to get rid of them since they're not playing. And then I can possibly bring them back for the fixtures afterward with 1 or 2 transfers.
Real quick, just the argument to that. It's mainly in regards to the 2 Arsenal players, or 3 in this case. No one is really going to have Saliba after this whole period, just because we don't really see that many clean sheets for Arsenal. Even though Saliba does have an odd return in him, you want more clean sheets out of a defender. You don't want a Saliba type person. You don't want to just get him in and just rely on him getting a goal in every single game, because that's realistically not going to happen. So you're really looking at just Martinelli and Jesus, and when you think of it, they play Tottenham. That's going to be a high scoring game. I wouldn't want to get rid of them because I do see at least one of them getting on the score sheet. And then they play Liverpool. Liverpool so far have not been as solid at the back as they normally are. They're going to play that high line. You're going to see Jesus probably dropping back and Martinelli making that run behind. So I do see them getting on the score sheet against Liverpool. So I do want to keep them in. And then they do play, who was it, Leeds right after, right? After that, then that's Leeds are going to concede. So that is my argument for not wildcarding and keeping those Arsenal players.
As far as wildcarding with the goalkeeper conundrum, a few names that came up were Pope, who rose in price. His fixtures are okay as far as the defensive side. Guaita, that Gat had said, is rumored to miss the odd fixture randomly. Jose Sa for Wolves, it doesn't look that interesting after Nathan College got that 3-match ban. And then Pickford, Begovic is really something that why would we trust Everton for? And as far as Joe Ward and Iverson for Leicester City, even though Ward is cheap, my stat for this Fantasy 15 is that Ward is 21st. Ward is 21st for goalkeeper points in a 20-team
Holy
league.
shit.
So,
Who's a ball?
Wait, how?
because there's literally been probably a keeper that has scored more points with saves and effectiveness than he has, even though he's been Leicester starting
Who's
goalkeeper.
20th, you know?
No, I don't, and I'm pretty sure it would probably be. I would put it as
That's
one
for
of
the
the.
draft.
No, this is just in general.
Dude, he's not even like League One quality. He's like fucking like, well, you know, like where hashtag United play?
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
In fact, I probably could
quality.
see that really
That's
quickly.
level.
If I go into
I
here,
think I need to start patient Gat to see the light too now.
But yeah,
I said the
Ward,
big
while
sleeper.
he puts that up, Ward is just god awful.
Right.
He's pretty much the worst in every single goalkeeper category.
Why you pull that out? Let me ask you. Why would you go for Saliba again?
Why wouldn't I go for
Yeah.
Saliba? Just because the run of fixtures coming up, I would want to make sure that even it's a 3 defense system that most people are going to employ. I want to make sure that the 3 that I have are likely to keep clean sheets and also probably going to get the odd return or 2. But I'm focused more on the actual clean sheet aspect of it.
Begovic.
You saw the
yeah, there
point
you go,
study, right?
Begovic. I told.
So it was first.
That's what I was saying. It's probably one of the goalkeepers that I just featured.
So it was the person in the point study for defenders, right?
Yes, I do
Okay.
know
I just
that.
want to make sure you.
I do know that.
I want
But it's
everybody
because
to
he,
notice that.
but it's not because of clean sheets. It's because he's getting the odd goal, which I don't see him
There's
doing
2
in
goals
these
so far?
next.
3 goals so far?
I don't see him getting goals in these next couple of games.
3 goals so far?
But you're also going up against Spurs, Liverpool. These are going to be some good tests for you guys coming up.
Please.
Hey, listen, I predicted you guys
Let him
winning.
see the light. Let him see the light.
I predicted you guys winning the
Oh,
London Derby.
Saliba,
So.
please prove him wrong.
So to wrap up some of our notes, KDB, who tops the league with key passes at 25 and big chances at 8, he's a good replacement for Salah in the meantime. And then you get Salah back in for game week 12, who has those great fixtures, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and then Tottenham to finish out the season before the break. You would have to clench yourself really tight, though, because they do play that Brighton match right as they come back this weekend. And having KDB for that, it could be, it could be a pretty big jump between who scores more. KDB does historically have a good record against United, and he does show up in those matches. But as far as what the ceiling is, I would say most people would argue that Salah has a higher ceiling. Zaha and Maddison, like we said, are popular midfield picks for game week 9 and 10 onwards. They're a good option in case Jared Bourne blanks again. And we want to address one thing right here, the Solanke madness. When Pookie was in the league, he had scored 2 goals in 9 games. After they came back from a break, they had a good fixture run of 5 matches, and he scored 3 goals in those 5 matches. So some people are of the belief that getting these budget forwards is the way forward for their team. Solanke is only priced at $5.7 million. And the upside to him is that he's a great enabler for the rest of your squad. You can get better midfield players and better defenders if you go for Solanke. However, you would also realize that you have Solanke on your squad.
Mm-hmm.
Their great 8 fixture run up into the World Cup in order are Brentford, Leicester, Fulham, Southampton, West Ham, Tottenham, Leeds, Everton. Have Bournemouth improved a little bit? I would probably say so. Have they improved enough to trust someone like Solanke to get at least 3 or 4 goals in that 8 fixture run? I don't know. Some people are heavily backing off the fact that he got 29 goals in the championship last season. He has not obviously enabled that as far as what Mitrovic has done to give him his flowers.
My man.
But if you want to go that way, just make sure that it's at your own risk. Disclaimer. We're just saying that, yes, he could bring a good upside for the rest of your team, but as far as your forward slot, you're wasting out on Solanke. And as far as captaincy, Gat, can you give us 2 shouts for captaincy this week?
Yes, obvious one that a lot of people are going to captain pretty much throughout the entire season still remains to be Haaland. He can pretty much bang in whenever he feels like it, which is very scary. However, especially because of all the movements that have been going on with the wild cards this week and for game week 8, Salah has suddenly become a somewhat of a differential captain because a lot of people are moving away from Salah. But you got to keep in mind he's home to Brighton, so that could be a tasty fixture for Salah if he wants to get back in form and get back on the score sheet. So those are our top two: is Haaland and Salah.
As far as the differentials, if you want someone completely out of the blue, completely out of random to try to gain some of your rank, Maddison against Nottingham Forest. A lot of people were really impressed by how Maddison was kind of taking games by the scruff of the neck and showing up for his squad against a pretty leaky Nottingham Forest side. It looks like he's probably guaranteed in Leicester City fans' eyes to get somewhat involved in the score sheet if they do happen to get some returns. And as far as another wild shout, just because we've been saying it, anybody in the North London Derby, any attacker in the North London Derby, I feel like would be a decent differential shout. As far as, okay, it's going to be a high-scoring game. Let's throw the captain's armband on Son, Kane, Martinelli, Jesus, even Xhaka.
I was going to ask you about him. Like,
okay.
Statistically, he's been, as far as an Arsenal fan, Arsenal perspective, he's been one of our best creators.
Correct. And do you want a weird thing? And I'll jump into this. 2 of the risers tonight were Malacia and Granit Xhaka out of fucking nowhere.
Wow.
So it looks like at least the percentage of people that are transferring them in seem to have some sort of in the know that we don't know. But that's where we're gonna wrap it up. Went over by a little bit, by a few minutes, but this is your Fantasy 15 recap leading up to game week 9.
No Mitrovic as captain?
The thing is that against Newcastle, we're looking at it as players that have the potential to have a high ceiling as far as points. Mitrovic can score, but would you argue that Haaland and Salah would get more points if they were to score as well?
Yes.
Okay. Maddison against Nottingham Forest, whether it's a goal, an assist, or 2 assists, would you argue that Maddison would probably get more points than Mitrovic?
No.
Then that's what makes it a differential. And you're free to go with Mitrovic if you'd like to. However,
I'm thinking,
the argument's sake is if you have Haaland or Salah, those are the 2 main picks. If you want to go on your own, I would say, you know what? A differential shout for Mitro.
yeah, I was to do. I'm
risk.
stealing down, bro. I'm Mitro.
I have Mitro captain against Newcastle for this season. I do.
But think about it. Think of the results that we just gave earlier. We all said Mitro will score against Newcastle, most likely.
Right.
We can't guarantee that, but and a lot of us, well, not all of us, but a lot of us said you're gonna lose to United.
Yeah, that is true.
Could be.
I mean, even though I said hat trick for Haaland,
Oh, hey, I gotta go fucking Mitro then, bro.
I mean,
I rest my
Okay,
case.
Nico 2.0 over here.
I rest my case. And that's the wrap up for Fantasy 15. Any last points for the gap?
Deadline for the draft for all of us here on the bench is Friday morning. For regular fantasy, it is Saturday 6 a.m. So please do not forget and do not be like Nico and activate your wild card and then forget to make changes.
Oh, you forgot to make your changes?
No, I made my changes.
One last thing, Jay, I do have to decline your offer. Thank you very much.
Why?
Who'd you ask for?
Why?
Who'd you ask for?
he asked for a player.
Yeah, I did.
What player?
What was the transfer request?
He asked for Zaha and Jane Bailey.
That's fucked up, bro.
For an exchange,
Wow.
for an exchange of who?
For Bailey.
Zaha for Bailey.
Oh, Zaha.
That's not bad. Aston Villa have good fixtures.
That's not
coming
bad. That's horrible.
horrendous.
Wow.
It's a slap in the face. For
Exactly.
Wow.
I wanted to see if I could put a message right next to him, like "fuck you." Sadly, you can't, so that's why I just wanted.
I mean,
to
there is a
tell you right
message
now.
board. You'll probably get censored, but there is a chat message board in the main page.
I wanted to say in person, "fuck you."
Wow, thanks. Wow, thanks a lot.
Mitrovic after against Newcastle.
All right.
All right. I think that's it, right? Anything else we're missing, guys? I have nothing else in here. Anything else? Oh, something fell.
Man
At
down.
Arsenal.
Damn, that's a bad omen.
Shit, it's a bad
That's a
omen.
bad omen.
Yeah, I was about to flick it too.
Knock it down.
I can't. He has his hand on it now.
Split it.
All right, we'll see who
We
takes
still
it
got-
back.
We still got to figure out and actually do this challenge for the 2 weeks.
I give you guys my nomination,
He
bro.
keeps bringing that up. Like,
I
he's
give you
gonna
guys
go.
my-
We're already into the
What?
second month, bro. It's
I give you
over.
guys my
You
challenge.
still could do it.
No, it's over.
Go on a
Second month.
date with the teddy bear in a public area.
One each. You can do it together.
Well,
I accept
double
that
date.
challenge.
A double date. A
To
double
double
date.
date.
I got a big ass bear upstairs.
To be,
I give it to you.
to be quite honest, if I lose, I'll be so happy to do it.
No,
Bro, you already lost.
Oh, I thought it was for the next
No,
one.
no, what do you mean the next
It's
one?
for the next one. We're in the
Wait.
next
Wait,
one.
why do the next you have to pay the price, but the originals don't?
It's different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to set the precedent. So look,
Statute of
just-
limitations, bro.
so look,
Statute
since you guys were the ones that lost, I think we as a
You already
unit
chose, yes,
should
yes.
choose the party. Obviously, I'm not making you guys suffer. Like I think that's a little over the top. I
Hot
think we've been
sauce.
there. I think we've been there. Yeah, remember you throwing up and shit. I'll be next week. But I mean we've been there, done that. So something a little bit more,
Entertaining for everybody. to
entertaining
watch.
for people to watch. So I think going on a double date with some teddy bears for you guys would be nice. We'll send you guys to
The teddy bears are paying though, right?
Yes.
Which
Well,
means you
We'll,
guys.
we'll set up the
Yeah, we'll
Texas
pay.
Roadhouse
Oh,
or
We'll
whatever.
give,
whatever.
we'll give each of the both of your wallets and
To
they
be
can
quite honest, this is great content.
I would gladly like pay. Pay for you guys to
I'll
go
pay
eat
for
at
it.
fucking.
And then we
I will
would have to go just chill at the bar.
Oh, I'm 100%.
just so we can record.
You
it.
guys
No, I want to go somewhere fancy, like fucking Char's Steakhouse.
Jesus
Oh.
fuck.
The frog and the whatchamacallit?
A frog and a pea. That's oh my god, dude, figures out.
To be quite-
I'm 100% down. Like, I'm
Are
serious.
you guys
about
gonna
this.
record this?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
To be quite honest, like to get the stairs
Why-
up for the people, it
why are
would
you
be fucking hilarious. Cause it's great content. You gotta
For the
accept.
content.
Do it for the content.
And then we'll have a
Content
sign
was
next to you
first
guys. We lost a bet or lost the
But,
first.
see, here's my problem. What if I fall in love with the bear?
I mean
Oh
that's
my
That's on you, bro.
that's
That's
actually
a
that's called
personal problem.
no that's called
Bestiality?
no
Not
no
bestiality,
fuzzies. I think they're called fuzzies.
Fuzzies?
Like where you look like people dress up as like teddy bears and shit.
Furries.
Furries, yeah.
Furries.
You're a furry?
Josue.
I saw some fucking one of those crazy TLC videos where some guy falls in love with his car and does a little
With the exhaust pipe?
with the exhaust pipe. So I don't know,
Oh
bro.
my god.
But yeah, no, 100%. We
I'll
gotta
tell
make.
you this. I will have to take a couple shots first before.
All right, so are we? All right, look, we're putting it out there. This is the challenge that we're proposing. Let us know when. I mean, we can decide amongst each other after hours. But
Yeah.
yes, I think we should do it before the next.
Yeah, before the belt goes to somebody else's
Yeah,
house.
or stays we got.
Or say
What
yeah,
the fuck is that? Like 2 weeks?
3
We
weeks.
got 2-3 weeks to do it.
In 3 weeks, because we're adding another week.
Yeah. So all right, hey, we want to keep it as simple as going to the Molos right now, right down the road, and then just sitting there in the booth with 2 teddy bears. You have to
You know,
talk to the
you know when they
community,
can do it?
like, try to feed them.
Eric, you know when they can do it? On a Sunday, mid-Sunday at Darby's. When it's like
I
packed.
thought Darby's that
They
it was-
recognize. They recognize.
Nah,
That's why it would be funny.
That's
just an idea,
I
but you
would
have to
not
see
walk
what
in
you're
with you
talking
guys
about
though. It's very clear. I would like separate as fuck. Wait, give like 10 minutes till I walk
Put,
in.
put your hoodie
But
on.
yeah,
just
not
walk
associate with them.
in.
Record from
All
Alright. Let's end it there because we went. We're all wrong. But
Yeah,
with that being said, we are the Benchwarmers. The bench of the voice. For the bench is always warm. Peace, everybody.